Hey fam, welcome back to Mavin 256, and the name is Mavin as usual. I'm always your host, and I really appreciate you guys for coming through and always watching with us. Today I'm starting my first episode of Keeping Up with Mavin, rebranding and organizing the work. Yes, all along I've been looking for the right name to suit our shows, but I think Keeping Up with Mavin will be the better name to flow with because it will involve everything. Someone said, why don't you sit in one niche? I'm like, no, I want to represent everyone. Talk about relationships, politics, and everything that happens in the game. But today, we are here, Keeping Up with Mavin. It's our first episode, and today's episode is a heart check, right? It's for the ones who say, I'm okay now, but deep inside, they still feel broken. And the truth is, many of us, we are not healing. We are not healing and we're not doing well. And what we are doing instead of healing, we're just distracting ourselves, you get? By posting memes, what kills you makes you stronger, something like, I don't know. But yes, people posting memes, staying busy, getting new relationships quick. We party, we work, we scroll. But we always don't slow down to feel. All right, so today let's ask the real question. Are you actually healing or you're just hiding? That's one question for you. Are you actually healing or you're just hiding? So let me paint a picture for you. Someone go through a heartbreak real quick, and instead of grieving, crying it out and healing, they just maybe hit the gym in case this person goes to the gym so much. They maybe start going to, let's say, church. They start clubbing, posting those positive quotes, about love, everything, many going to gospel songs, and they're posting positivity, right? So they're always out, they're always laughing, sharing, happy, and you think they're okay. But at night, it still hurts because healing didn't happen. What happened was only distraction. We're distracted, or you distracted yourself by posting memes, keeping busy, partying, being with people around. But when you got into your room, the reality hit back. And when it hits back, that's when you understand that healing has not happened. You get? And we get it and we understand it. It's very fine and very understandable. Pain has never been comfortable. It's always uncomfortable for everyone. But here's the truth. Business is not healing. You being busy doesn't mean you're healing. You get? Moving on is not moving forward. You can move on, but you've not moved forward. So the two differ. Moving on and moving forward, they're totally different. So let's break it down real quick because we need to start our show very, very fast. We have already started, but I need to get our guests quick. So what's the difference between healing and distraction? Number one, in healing, we have facing your emotions, right? And in distraction, it is always being on the move. This side, in the healing part, you face your emotions, you cry out. If it is singing, you sing out. If it is yelling, you yell out. But this side, you won't do anything. You just keep on a move going. Then we have taking time to reflect in healing. And what do you do the other side of distraction? Jumping into something new. This side, you take your time. But the other side, you just jump into something new. Then in healing, we have something we call allowing yourself to feel. And this side, it's posting, but not processing. You just post. By the other side, we allow ourselves to feel. You get the truth that what's going on. Then, lastly, in healing, we have finding peace, not noise. And what do we do this side? Smiling on the outside, but we are breaking inside. So that's the difference between healing and distraction. You get? So here are some of the small signs that you might that show that you might be going through distraction, not healing. Number one, you're always busy but still feel empty. You avoid silence or being alone. You get? You rush into new relationships just to feel something new or to feel something. So the other thing is you can't talk about your past without bitterness. Every time you talk about your past, it's always bitter. You get? You stay positive on the outside, but inside, you always cry when you're alone, when you're in that secret room alone. And then number 6, or the last one, is you compare your life with others constantly. You know, me, I'm happy, I'm like this, I'm like this. So if any of this sounds familiar, don't worry. You're not broken, you're just running. And it's okay. Slow down, take time and heal. Yes, so today I'm not doing the show alone, of course, as usual. I'm going to invite my guests so that we start a wonderful show. But I just wanted to first paint a picture for you as a person who's watching. What's the difference between healing and destruction? So join me, let's welcome our guest on today's show. As of course, we always know that face. She's going to introduce herself and we'll start off and we discover today's show is entitled, Are You Healing or You're Just Distracting Yourself? She's going to break it down for us and so that we understand it so well. All right, as I said, I'm not doing this show alone. Join me. Let's welcome our guest. She's a common face here, so introduce yourself.
So hey guys, I welcome you back again to this YouTube channel. I'm Mavin256 and I'm glad to be here again today, and I'm glad that you've been watching and following throughout the whole process, being happy that we shall learn a lot, we shall get to explore a lot about life, and I welcome you to today's session.
All right, thank you so much, Daisy. How was your week? That's always my first question.
Has been good.
Wonderful. Eh?
Yeah.
You got some money?
Obviously. That's the reason that's why we work.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for the last powerful show. There's some comment on YouTube that abawala wabakoba nnyo.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, someone.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, but I promise to bring a man to also hit the side of me. Yeah.
Okay, that is nice.
But Daisy, today,
yeah,
our show is we are talking about are you healing or you're just distracting yourself, right? And our first question is, my first question that I'm going to ask you is, have you ever thought that you are healing, yet you're just running?
Yes, probably it has ever happened to me.
Yeah. It has ever happened. Eh?
Yeah, it has ever happened. Yeah.
The question is, why do you think most people avoid healing and choose destruction?
Why they avoid healing? Taking you back about the fact that has it ever happened to me? Let me today give you something about maybe my experience, because you know these things when, especially when you don't expect something to happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, you most of us, what we do is find denial. It's kind of like denial. So you all feel like everything is okay, but at the end of the day, you're really not fine. So, no. No. Let me just leave that. Let me not talk about that thing, that issue. Someone might be watching out there and they might feel attacked about that experience.
No, you talk.
Yeah.
You talk. It's about
Mavin.
Okay, why do you think people avoid the healing and choose destruction instead?
This is a very sensitive thing to talk about, because I'm sure almost everyone, okay, not everyone, but most of the people have gone through this in regards to relationship.
Yeah.
Why most of the people avoid the healing process is because they want to get better so fast, and they don't know that you cannot heal when you've not allowed yourself to heal. So they rush, they put in the rush. They want quicker results that cannot be obtained in the quickest period of time. Okay, let me give an example. Like, you can have a wound and you know you have to go to work. So knowing that I have to go to work might make you move with your wound, and you console yourself that, let me say, I'm okay. But in actual sense, you've not let the wound heal.
Yeah.
Maybe you were supposed to go home and rest and give it time, but you might not acknowledge how big or how infectious this wound can be. So I think the problem could be that people are not giving themselves time to acknowledge the meaning of healing. Because if you don't know how big a wound can be, you cannot know how big it could get. Because we see some wounds, something starts small and then they become so big.
Keeps growing.
Yeah, it keeps growing. But you personally, you might, that's the denial someone can be in. Oh no, right now I'm so fine. Not knowing that this thing is now growing so much. So it will be a certain trigger that will trigger you to realize that, oh, now, so I haven't healed yet. Something that may not show up easily, maybe like that. Yet in actual sense, someone is really dying. So I think people need to acknowledge what healing is. Some people are following many things on how to heal, like telling them, do something that interests you. True, it is real, but you cannot treat something you don't know so much. So people just take breakups for like it being a normal thing, but it's not a normal thing.
I'll give you an example. My first campus relationship. I want to be real and open.
Yeah.
So we break up. After breaking up, me, I thought I'm okay. And I wasn't healing. I was distracting myself in a way that I had my boys. We could just go for pasa, pray FIFA, what. So these guys were commuting. So this was in the evening they could leave. So when they would leave, I would oversleep.
Hey.
Sleeping like from 6 up to 10, like 6 in the evening.
That's
like you don't know why
crazy.
you're just sleeping, just out of the blue. Not until I realized later that I was in depression. But me, I would say I'm very fine.
Yeah.
I'm very okay. I lost weight. I was like, maybe I'm just in the process. But not until I acknowledge the process.
That's terrible.
But the truth is, many of us, we just distract ourselves. And the main reason is pain. Man, pain is never comfortable for everyone.
Yeah, it's never comfortable.
And it will never be.
Yeah.
You cry, because sometimes you love someone and then at the end of it all, they just,
let you down.
They just let you down, and like as if you've done nothing for them. Someone's like, they're not appreciative.
Yeah.
And that hits so much. So, we have said we want heal so fast.
Yeah, we want to heal so fast.
Yeah, and move on. That's like the main point why many of us use distraction.
Yeah.
How were you distracting yourself in that relationship that you didn't want to talk about?
Personally, let me share something about the first step people go into. Okay, and something that is affecting a lot of people in Nakuzino. While we were saying that, I'm an introvert, I'm a loner, that is my lifestyle. I don't love being so social. But in actual sense, chinechintu is so deep. No one is meant to be a loner. No one is meant to be so much of an introvert. Kati, most cases, abantu weba facing challenges, they're like, I need space. No one needs too much space. So there's this thing of people going so much into so much space. Kati, nze personally, my experiences, nalina muchiriye chintu that I'm a loner, and whenever something bad happens to me, I want to be alone.
So try to run away from.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want people to call me. I don't want such a kind of thing. So ngamwecho mbera nzeka, thinking that life is better when you're alone. Life is better when you're having your space. But in actual sense, I was going into stress. Yeah, such realizing in the beginning, but deep, this is one of the signs of stress. Acknowledging and people are so proud of it, being like, I'm an introvert, I don't want this, I don't want this. Just because they believe they're introverts, finding someone at a beach, but they're in a certain corner on their phones, seated alone instead of having the fun. So this is how far this thing can take someone. Nti ne wobeera mu kifo we wandyeyagalidde, ne wobeera mu bantu be wandisanyuse nabo, otambula nekiri nti nze amalona, ate nga in actual sense kino ekintu kiba kikutta munda, that you don't feel the fun, you don't feel the excitement. Towulira ssanyu liri, meaning kigenda kubeerera kizibu okurealizinga nti oli stress kubanga gwe stress ogituttemu ate nga behavior yo oba character yo kati kino ekintu okitutte nti that's your lifestyle. Stress is not anyone's lifestyle. Being broken is not anyone's lifestyle. Kati abantu abasinga webatyo webeetika eno situation ne batahealinga yeetika the fact that aganye okukkiriza nti they are broken n'agamba abasajja weebatyo. So n'akikaringa like that, n'ate blaming at some other point, n'abeerawo ng'agamba kati kankole ebintu byange. They tend to do things the normal way they have been doing them, or at some point the abnormal way. Naye ate nga yeekweka kiri kati eno lifestyle
like
akidduka then n'akitwala normal. Being normal n'akyeteekako nti eyo lifestyle yange.
Tolowooza nti kino ekintu kya distraction kina long term effects?
Yeah, kina long term effect. Nga ekintu kya distraction kibeerawo nti kisobola okuaffectinga new relationship y'omuntu
ne bw'atandika endala.
By the way, this is a vicarious trauma. Nti omuntu ennaku zino abantu ensonga lwaki baplayinga nnyo omuntu wajja n'akuplayinga once, know that the next thing is revenge for most people. So kati eno trauma mubeerako n'abeera n'agamba naye gundi nankola bw'ati. So if I get a chance and also someone else comes to me, yes, you might be nice, naye nze nja kubeeramu kiri ekyoligayi kye yankola. So it will be in me. Ekyo kiba kitegeeza nti sinawona. So if you're to realize generation gye tulina kati abantu bali so wounded. They are carrying those wounds with them. They never healed. And most of those people have never given themselves time to heal. Nti omuntu asobola okubeera ne mu bufumbo naye ng'alina ba ex be nga babiri kye baamukola nga paka kati kimutambulirako nga paka kati abeerawo n'akyo n'agamba maybe also this person can do it because they did not give themselves time to heal and accept.
May I tell you this? I've acknowledged it. Nti omuntu wagana okuwona nafuna distraction munagenda mu relationship empya, it really affects them so
much.
Nti mwongeri nti Mavin ne bwe naakola ka mistake nga ex work yakola nti you will even if I'm doing something that is good but let's put it in a bad way because but what your ex did you start comparing. You gamba now you want to also become like the other person. You get? But for me I'm doing it in my own way. You get? And that's one of the many effects of distraction.
True.
Tokiriza mutima gwo kuona okay utandise relationship empya no carrying ebizibu ebya
previous relationship ate nga same no
let's say nga ttano
no bireta
because wano wekibeerawo nti at the start relationship ebeera nnungi naye mpola ng'egenda mu maaso kati let's say this man or this girl atandika okuleeta ebyemabega ng'abiteeka naawe oyagala kuba ng'oli naawe oyagala kuba ng'oli and it becomes so bad. That's what I wanted to add on that. I don't know, you have something else to add?
Yeah, that is so true. Okay, and maybe something brief is about healing. Is abantu balina okwewa obudde healing. Because most of the burdens people are carrying now are the wounds they of the past. Kati bino ebisago omuntu abyetika by the way newa paka walifa. Waliwo enjawulo y'omuntu okuba nga anyiize n'okuba nga omuntu alina obusungu. Kyangu okwawukana n'omuntu n'omunyiigira. Okunyiiga is something that is ekitaggwaawo mangu. Naye obusungu kyangu okwawukana n'omuntu ne mwekuba empi ne mwesamba ne mukola ki ne kiggwa. The next day ne mwawukana in peace nga buli omu awuttudde munne. Naye the next day you become friends nga mwakita kiri naye nga kyaggwaawo. Kati obusungu oli akunyiigira ku mutima gwe nti ne bwe kiba nti mwayawukana muyinza okuba nga wano kungulu akulaga kintu kirala naye nga munda mu mutima gwe akyanyiize kati that is what the thing we are talking about, not accepting to heal. Omuntu relationship weeba ewedde, you have to get clear terms olina okuwonera olina okukkiriza nti kati kino kiwedde, and people have to acknowledge that abantu si beebamu. If this person has been so violent, doesn't mean that no omuntu omulala gwogenda okufuna ali violent. Kati omuntu olina okuki-acknowledginga nti you know kino kiwedde, but let me do something else. Wulira obusungu naye ate okunyiiga kyo ate kiba kigenda kutambulirako for the rest of your life. Naga naye no gundi namunyiigira yankola bubi.
Daisy, tugambe nti obutawona from our past relationships buleseewo they've accelerated on why we have so many breakups. Like they have much contributed to breakups of new relationships that we always form.
Yes, because now the energy is not through experience. Nowadays, the energy is not really giving. You know, if a person has just started a relationship, atandika atekamu amaanyi ngono wa texting naye textinga waba guy aba collab outings nga bungi naye ono guy waba ya spending ako let me say 10 million on a girl oyo mwala nam disappointinga obaka ngambe abamu babatwala ku masomero n'asoma nam disappointinga kati ono omuvubuka waddamu okufuna omuwala omulala the energy egenda kuba ntono nti offers yali akola in the beginning ajagama nono nja kimukolera andekewo kati kino ekintu ky'abantu obutawona kati already kati kitwale nti that's a wound on his heart meaning it is going to stop the energy of love mu bantu nti ennaku zino abantu kituufu bayinza okubanga kati oyo omuntu wagwa ku muwala naye ali broken already because now those are the relationships we are having. Agenda kukubanga naye already ali wounded, agenda kugwa ku muntu ali wounded naye gwe baakosa kati beesange weebati kati wano omuwala kale it is being so hard kuba kati abantu kizibu okwe opening up to love onatya n'onatya naye ate nga jjukira ekintu kya love omuntu aba akyagala kuba batagala kuba yekka naye kati onatya n'onatya kati ne beemitinga ng'onaakubako ku makya n'agamba oli omuwala namumalirako obudde bwange bwonna kati ono kaŋŋende slow kati gy'okoma okureducinga the energy jjukira kati nze nninda energy evawo naawe olinda energy eva wange kati tugenda kukomekerera nga tuli awo nga bintu biri awo kubanga buli omu atya what if I do this and he leaves me kati omu ayinza okugamba what if I open up neebaka naye n'ansuulawo how many men will I sleep with and the man will be like what if I also invest in this girl naye n'andekawo so how much money will I lose in such things kati netubeera mu generation ng'abantu bali awo naye nga kiva ku ki
our past relationships that we
our
carry.
past hey
Me, one thing I would really advocate for, as when you start a relationship with someone, be vulnerable. Vulnerable in a way you show all your insecurities to this person so that akutegeera, you open up to the point nti omugamba buli kimu. Then naturally, we give ourselves time to heal.
yeah
Tulekera ebintu you've broken up with someone and then in actually in 2 days the relationship mpya. Anyway, Daisy, you have an experience, right? Okay, you didn't share. But when did you realize that you've started healing? Bintu kibewa byewakola ne biraga nti mumanyi kati mponye oba nawe towonanga distracting yourself.
okay one thing I've realized is that omuntu okutandika okuwona olina kutandika kubeera free with yourself kintu kyolina okusooka okukola ne weetunuuliranga ggwe and stop hoping from others nze okuva we natandika okugamba nti kati let me be me kambeere nga nze I think I started becoming a better kind of person, not waiting for someone to love me, not waiting for someone to take care of me. Kubanga kati ebintu ebimu ebireetera abantu obutahealinga kwe kubanga yali alinda boyfriend wa mukolerenga enviiri, yali alinda boyfriend wa mukolerenga enjala, yali alindanga kale nga alinda muntu amukolere buli kimu. Naye nze natandika okubanga ngamba kati I'm on my own. If someone is to find me on my journey and support me and they want to join me, ne wanaba negaseeko nja kumanya nti ndi nzekka. Ne we tunaba tutuuse nga tutekinze steps, I'll always know that I'm alone. Kati meaning buli we nakitwalanga nti ndi nzekka, omuntu n'anvaako. Kati ndaba nga toyina kyonzigyeko.
So kugamba
ondeka nga bwendi.
Daisy omuntu kati bwajja nakukolera enviiri, it's not something
nedda okinkoledde, yes, I appreciate. Naye I've been doing it for myself. So even those days you'll be like I have no money.
No bwatakuwadde,
I'm okay. Kubanga kati sikyalina, I'm not going to miss anything out. Though, despite the fact that nkyagala, ne kati kikakkanya omuntu yenna, ne kati obuzibu abawala we babeera eyo nga awulira alina kyalaakinga nti love, olaba ffenna twagala okubeera loved. Naye we weeyigiriza okweyagala, otuuka nga owulira tewaliwo deficit nti omuntu omulala wajja n'akulaga love, agikulaze naye already akusanze oje weeyigiriza okujeewa, weewe everything, weerwanirira okwewa love yonna, nti oli ne waakusanga kubanga olaba relationships zino love etuuka n'ekendeera from the other partner. Naye kati gwe yiyo towards yourself ate weekendeera, kye kisinga okuba ekibi, nti oba togenda kuwona mangu kubanga love yo yonna obadde ogibalira ku oli, nti love gy'akuwa yeyokka gy'obala. Kati meaning we mba manyi nti Mavin, love jompa yeyo gye ntambulirako obwongo wange gye butambulirako, that day you'll wake up one day and be like, days it's over. Or maybe that day I find out that you've been having another relationship, nja kubeera broken kubanga love yo gye mbadde neeyagaliramu.
You've been relying on my love.
Yeah, I've been relying on your love. Meaning it will become so hard for me to build myself kubanga mbadde neevaako nga ntambulira ku love yo. Kati kitegeeza okuwona mba omuntu okuwona okuva mu kino ekintu ebyaddala nga tuvudde mu distraction. Kuba nsobola ogenda mu bbala, kati kyekyo kye tuliko, nsobola ogenda mu bbala naye nga siina self love. Kati ne when nagenda mu bbala, it's true, I might be there, I make noise. Now at the end of the day, Mavin was the love of my life. I will not feel complete. Naye kati omuntu weetaaga n'obeera complete. Teri omuntu kakwongereko naye ne kyakwongeddeko kireme kuwuliza nti that is you. Sigala ng'oli gwe, oba omuntu akwagadde oba atakwagadde, it is you. Oba akuwadde ez'enviiri, you remain okay. Oba takuwadde, you remain okay. Oba kututeeka date, good.
Obadde obyekolera naawe.
Ola Mavin, ne woba kuba kati nti buli muwala osobola okyekolera, true, naye olw'okuba tosobola kyekolera tolowooza nti balala be balina okikolera. Abantu babeera so disappointed kubanga omuntu okimanyi omuwala asobola okunyiigira. Kati be babawala be banyinaanyega olw'okuba omusajja takuwadde ssente za pizza or something, oba you want to make a wig installation, onyiigira ki? Teweemanyiza kunyiigira bintu bitali bibyo. Normalize being you. Mu bulamu buno omuntu olina okubeera gwe. Stop expecting others abalala bakusange mu lugendo.
Kyagizemu Daisy nti leka love yaabo y'omuntu omulala ejje just ekikopo kiba kibadde mu makati ejje gattewo. Like your cup should never be out of love.
Yeah, true.
Enakubeera mu love nti oli bwajja ayongerako bwongezi. Era bw'avaawo still waliwo ekirimu mu kikopo
oba okay.
Wow.
So people should learn that nti oba okoledde kino oba okoledde kiri, me, I am me. I'm full. We're making a fool. Tojja kubeera broken. Anaaba agenze.
Okay, kijja kuluma, yes.
Yeah, it might hurt you.
The cup was full.
Yeah.
Waliwo ekivuddemu, but you're not empty.
Ojja kuhiilinga namangu kuba kati gwe wamanyira kubeera gwe wekusa ebintu ebisinga. Yeah, so that is it.
That's really amazing. Njagala almost olinga azzeemu ekibuuzo kyange kibadde mbena okubuuza ekisembayo nti tukozeseza bukodyo ki okuwona mangu, because we all want to heal first. Ate bintu ki bye tutalina kukalinga mu relationship zaffe empya, because kyetulabye nti distraction etta healing. Then mweyo twerimba, I'm going out, I'm having fun with my girls, my boys, you know, in that process and often a relationship empya naye n'okaalinga ebizibu biwalina eri
byonna
n'obireeta wano
yeah.
neweebuuza why are my relationships not succeeding but you still carrying problems of relationship that you formed in 2009 you're in 2025 but the problems that were in 2009 still follow you
yeah, true.
okyagamba naye guli ogulenzi kye gwankola kyekyo kyewayogeddeko ekyobusungu okyalina obusungu bwa
wanyiiga
so Daisy kyekyo kibuuzo tuwonye tutya because twagala okuhiringa mamugezi byonna tubyogedde let our cups be already halfway nti oli ajja ayongezeemu but yes ndi mu kulaba so nkoze ntya okuwona nkoze ntya how can I heal
okay kyemanyi engeri y'omuntu ennyangu gy'osobola okuwona ekisooka lekerawo okuexpectinga too much from people omuntu okuwona amangu tosuubira nti ogenda kuwona lwa muntu mulala kati ekikutwala mu mikwano gyo opaatinge because you're looking for healing in them naye omuntu olina okuyiga nti okuwona kwonna kugenda kuba mugwe ku acknowledginga nti owonye olunaku omuntu lwakeera ku makya nakkiriza nti now I'm okay lwe lunaku lwajja okuwulira nti ali fine naye ne woobanga olaba nti abantu bajja batu advising kyangu nnyo okubeera mu mbeera n'onoonya advice okuva eri abantu naye n'omala n'otuula wansi wekabooti ne weebuuza gwe kennyini kati nkoze ntya kubanga kituufu biri byonna obiwulidde ono gundi akugambye kino akugambye kino naye advice entuufu omuntu yeebuulirira yekka
you advise yourself
gwe wekka n'otuukula n'ozimba kuba olaba amaanyi tugazimba munda muffe amaanyi tetugajja ku bantu olaba omuntu eyeemanyiza okujja amaanyi mu bantu kati be bano ba politicians nti bw'ataba n'abantu bamuwugira we bate emabega n'amala akyuka emabega ng'ali yekka amaanyi ge gaba gamuweddemu
because takyalina bali bamuwa
takyalina bamuwaga naye omuntu wabazze nga ye amanyi alina amaanyi mundamu ye tagenda kunoonya amaanyi walala kati omuntu olina okwemanyiza okwezimbamu amaanyi muli munda nga n'abalala tebannaba nakukonsolinga balala bayinza okukonsolinga naye gwe already muli munda gwalina okusinga okwezimbamu amaanyi mukyo healing comes from within owona osinziira munda bino byokola kungulu birina okujja kungulu naye nga n'omutima gwenjoyinga club gy'ogenzeemu ng'omutima gwenjoyinga beach gy'ogenzeeko nti ogenze ku beach naye nga you're feeling so lively kati okugenda ku beach naye nga deep inside you're hurting ate byongera kukosa kati ne wogoberera bino ebintu bya social media bye babagamba mbugendako mu mikwano gyo genda n'opostinga memes what doesn't kill you makes you stronger
nga yet you're dying inside I know.
It is not going to help. So gwalina okwezimbamu amaanyi nga gasinziira eri munda n'ota okutakuta munda noba ng'omuntu oyo tomuwulirako bubi kati awo oba okola ku feelings zo kuba heartbreak ebeera feeling embi ogirwanisa ova munda ogikyusiza eno in your heart togikyusiza ku music kuba kati abo abantu bwe banoonyeza bu playlist obwa Lana Ray ne buba hitting so hard mu mitima n'abeeraawo but deep inside when you're hurting so you have to get it from your heart zimba healing okuva munda mugwe munda wulira ng'omutima gwo guwa amaanyi wulira ng'endowooza zo ziwa amaanyi kati gwe wekka ojja kubeerawo olabe ng'ebintu bitambula okere ku makyo ogambe I'm okay kino kyabaddewo but we move on nti newo jumpinga mu relationship endala ogendayo nga wawonye dda naye ogenda mu relationship endala naye nga kyakungulu si kya feeling kati ogenda mu relationship physically naye nga feeling ye egenze mu relationship nfu
actually olumu oli agenda mu relationship and kulumya oli
weebityo denial
kati Daisy on that point of moving on most times ebishoyogeddeko nti ebyokugenda mu mikwano gyo ebyokugenda one thing I realized is not everyone wishes you good and not everyone wants you to be well and not everyone that the advice they are giving you is to help you waliwo oli nga ate tayagala kulira ku relationships so nojja n'omugamba kati my relationship is going like this yawedde tayagala biwi so answer yagenda okuwa nvaako yakwejjako okitegeera so most of the times we want to get advice from our friends it's okay, it's right But most of the times, as she has said, the best advice giver in your life is yourself.
Yes, that
it's
is
you
true.
to consider yourself. No gamba, you know what? I can do this.
Yes.
Newewa amaanyi. Because chenayiga nti bw'oba teweewadde maanyi. Oyakuwa amaanyi bw'ava. My blaz. That's the end of it.
You feel so alone.
Because it's like as if when you're moving up and someone is holding your hand.
Yeah.
When they're not there, automatically. But bobanga, it's the same thing like on our social media platforms like TikTok and what. Quick growth.
Yeah, true. Hardships and challenges.
But wait, hardships and challenges. Move on well. And I will just conclude what you've said. And moving on is not moving forward.
Yeah, true.
Was you moved on, but you've not moved forward. So I leave that to you. Yeah. So we talk about the last question of what are those things you're not supposed to carry from our past relationships into our new relationships, so that we be better people.
Yeah, being a better person. Personally, I think you shouldn't carry buli chimu ekibadde emabega kisigale emabega. Yeah. Just get the lessons. Yeah, olaba kati buli woyiga tosigala kyekimu. Buli woyiga nti abasajja bakola kino. Kati mu previous relationship tujjayo byakuyiga nti ovaayo onjize nti bannange abantu basobola n'okubeera weebati osobola okwagala omuntu n'ayenda kati ekyo ovaayo jjayo lessons naye tojjaayo buze bwoli bw'abadde akola tojjaayo biki by'abadde akola ate obireeta eno. So in the previous relationship tujjayo bujja lessons tobaako kyozze eno gwe byonna by'ofunidde eri byonna funa ebizibu byo byonna n'essanyu actually ly'ojja eri nalyo lirekeeyo ebirungi byonna n'ebibi ebyali emabega kabibeereyo jjayo ebintu by'oyize by'oba oteeka ate nabyo tobiteeka nnyo naye bikuyambeko okweyongerayo mu relationship eno gy'oba ozze nayo kubanga kati w'oba wanyumirwa nnyo mu previous relationship yo ono guy agenda kukola bonna obuntu bw'abadde akuba oyinza okuba ng'obadde ne kabejja in those romantic issues n'ofuna guy omupya ng'ate mufu meaning w'oleeta eri faani mweno relationship ono akakodyo kagenda okukola ogenda batokalabamu kano kagenda okukola ogenda batokalabamu kati kitegeeza ogenda kuwulira a bit more bored in this relationship kubanga faani eri ogireese eno ogenda kujjayo ebizibu bye wafuna eri obireete mweno relationship kati kitegeeza eno relationship naye oba ogenda kugifuula ya bizibu yandibadde ennungi oba ogenda kugyonoona naye eri woba olina bye wayiga making sure nti ezo zaali lessons kati eyo lesson woba osanze ono obanga olina ekirungi kye wajja eri eno ekitaliiyo kati kitegeeza wayiga nti kati ono osobola okamulaga okitegeera naye nota carryinga the problem okitegeera kati awo tujjayo kyakuyiga ekyokuyiga kyawule ku kuleeta ekintu okikaringa kyonna omugugu
okwebizibu n'obusuula so nti heartbreak yeeri lesson because one thing in life, we all need the bad days.
Yeah, true.
Bad days teach us. Good days are always there to motivate us and keep moving, but bad days give us lessons that we need to improve and grow.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Kati eri tujjayo lessons n'ogiteeka eno relationship eno nayo neetambula bulungi olw'okuba eri byagaana eno bisobola okuba better kati bano ba ex abeereeta ng'oli mu relationship empya just baba baagala bakuleetere biri ebizibu ebyeri babiteeke muno ne batandika oyo muwala mumanyi okimanyi nti oyinza okuba olina ebintu naawe bye wakola nga bikyamu mu previous relationship yo naye nga woba wajjayo lesson omanya nti we nakola kino gayi wange yanyiiga kati olw'okuba eri wajjayo lesson ate tokireeta toleeta kazeeko kali kewuke wali okola eri kati akaze kaleke jjayo lesson ogiteeke wano nti eno ono gayi tagenda kulaba ku kali akantu ke wakola oli kati oli waba tahiilinze from that habit of yours ke waliko
kati biba bizibu
bye
nego
wayiga kati woba gw'ojjayo kuyiga kali akaze kagenda baka kadde kati beba batugamba you will never find someone like me kati they will never find someone like you wobanga okyalina ako ka behavior naye woba oze eno kiba kyangu ajja kwewuunya lwaki ate no relationship ye empya etambudde bulungi ate nga we yali nange kana kazi kaali kabi oba he was a bad guy kumbe guy yategeera n'amanya nti with my new babe nze I've seen this happen so many times nga guy ya breaking up n'omuwala naye waalandinga mu relationship epya ate n'olaba nga be yali takola n'oli abikola n'ono nagamba ye why because they learned.
Daisy,
Yeah.
that is so powerful. Tuweyo obugambo bwebusembayo tulabenga. Yeah, how we conclude today's show.
As we are concluding, I think this love thing abantu balina okuba nga bayiza ebintu bingi nti omuntu olina kubeera gwe in life, in relationship, mu buli relationship. Leero twogedde ku romantic relationship. Nene mu mikwano gyo weewala okuba nga oli muntu afuna amaanyi okuva mu bantu abalala. Weewala okuba nga gwe tolina ky'osobola kubeera nga gwe kuba tuyize nti amaanyi ogezimbira kuva munda. Kati mu buli situation omuntu waayiga the basics of inner strength. Kiba kigenda kuyamba mu relationship yo yonna nga kisuse ne ku romantic relationship. At work, gwagenda okuba amaanyi go. At home, you're going to be your own strength because ebinyiiza bingi naye to be overcoming from within. Kuba byonna biba bijja ku breaking us from within. But if you build that strength and you make sure you take lessons from the previous relationship, tojjayo migugu nga yeah, that will help so much. Be you in everything.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Me, to add on and conclude, I would just say that before you get into a new relationship, first sit down with yourself. You get understand why did my last relationship end?
Yeah.
What contributed to the ending of it? What good did I do? What bad did I do?
True.
So that you don't carry it into
the next relationship.
Because also that's another way of healing.
Yeah.
So sit down with yourself. Tulawansi. Wagambe wano nakola ntya, wano nakola ntya. Wawe nakola obulungi, wano nakola obubi. Okay. Kati wano wenyutereza. Naye nga tusemberera enkomekerezo. I think that's the right one.
Enkomekerero.
Oh, enkomekerero as we approach our end. I'll just say this. Healing is always messy.
Yeah.
It's not cute at all. It's never. You get? So you don't have to perform strength or to again to mind. You pretend over it. You get?
Post every meme.
Just be present. Sit with your heart.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we talked about the inner healing,
Strength
right?
and inner healing, yeah.
Let that pain teach you.
Yeah.
So much because you learn a lot from it. Because healing is not forgetting.
Yeah, true.
It's remembering without breaking. Okuona, okay, nzijukira nti nalimu relationship.
Toxic one.
Yali toxic. Yali naye bona bukijjukirako tomenyeka.
Yeah.
Because wawona.
Yeah, true.
Wawona nochiyitako. So healing is not about forgetting, it's remembering without breaking. So I have one simple thing for everyone that if you know you've been touched with this show today, there's something I want you to do for me. I wrote it down here until. So here is your keeping up with Mavin challenge for today. Take 10 minutes today. No phone, no music with you, just in silence. Okay. Because that's the moment you always realize how life is. Because
yeah,
they're not healing. So in that process, with your thoughts, write whatever comes up in your mind. Don't filter it into just feel it.
Unfiltered.
Then come back and tell me what did this silence teach you. So our final words, I hope you've been touched, you've been blessed and everything. So please, I will just say subscribe to our YouTube channel here today. So we grow together. And if we're always impacted with our stories, sorry, I was calling it emotions, and our discussions, leave a comment, give us your feedback so that we learn and grow together.
Yeah.
I'll remain as Mavin Tumusiime, your host, and she's Daisy, our guest. And yes, today was our first episode of Keeping Up with Mavin.
Mavin.
So, bye-bye. See you next time.